me, naturally Stacey Stace, and I'm back with chapter 2 of my Make-A-Wish audiobook. I hope you enjoyed the last chapter. I'm just here to give you a recap on the last chapter before we get back into the book. So you met 27-year-old Shanika Campbell, who is a single mother to 6-year-old Tashawn. Leah is Shanika's best friend and she lives in the flat below Shanika. Shanika works for a company selling natural products for the body, and her friends at work are Lisa and Jonathan. So in the first chapter, Shanika is on her way to work when she is run off the road by a tall, sexy black man, which she failed to really see because she was so angry. She spent her whole morning angry/annoyed at this guy, only to find out that he is her new boss at work. So this is where we'll pick up from. So grab your tea, your snacks, or just sit back and relax. And we'll get into the next chapter. Make-A-Wish, Chapter 2. And this is Shanika Campbell, I hear Jane introduce me. She's one of my hardest workers. I give a big smile, put my hand out to be shaken, and turn around to find the cause of my incident this morning standing face to face in front of me. The smile drops from my face. What the heck is he doing here? I say inside. Jane puts a hand on my arm, noticing the frown on my face. Are you alright? She questions. I think I know what her problem is, Mr. Flashy Pants, as I have now named him, replies, nodding with a knowing look. How can he possibly know what my problem is within 5 minutes of meeting me? I tut, my eyes not leaving him. Does he know he's my problem? We met this morning, right? He smiles at me. You see, we had a little incident where I nearly crashed into her, he informs Jane. But it's no biggie. We nearly crashed into each other? I fume with annoyance. And no biggie? He almost tries to kill me and all he can say is that it's no biggie. So you two know each other then? Jane looks at us. Yes, he continues to smile. But I didn't quite catch your name. He bends down a little to look me in the eyes. Shanika, was it? He shakes my hand as I slowly nod. Nice to meet you. I'm Tyrone Jones. His smile almost blinds me, so sweet and big, and that Burberry aftershave wafting off his 5'11" muscle-toned body under his expensive suit is. What are you doing, Shanika? I ask myself. Snap out of it. You don't like this guy. He tried to kill you this morning, remember? Well, I'll leave you two to it then. Jane walks off and leaves us standing together. So I guess you must be a little surprised to see me here, he chortles, and as your new boss. I just look at him and then realise I'm holding my glass of Prosecco a bit too tightly and loosen my grip. As he talks, I can hear his accent is muddled with a half American, half English twang. This morning you looked like it wouldn't have been the end of the world if you never saw me again. He smiles, then goes all serious. I want to apologise for that. This morning excuse me, I've got to go. I cut him off and march over to Lisa and Jonathan. Ooh, Shanika, I saw you two getting on just now. Jonathan playfully pushes me. But you better back off because he's going to be mine. Lisa gives a little laugh, then clocks my annoyed expression. What's the matter, see? She questions. Yeah, girl, I was only joking about saying you couldn't have him. Jonathan looks at me sweetly. If you want him, take him. I have plenty of other men wanting me. It's not that, I shake my head. It's not, then what is it? Because he's fine and I think he likes you. He's the guy from this morning. I look at Lisa. What guy? Jonathan asks as Lisa gives a long, oh. I'll tell you about it later, she shushes Jonathan. So what did he say? I don't know, I wasn't interested. I was trying to stop myself from getting the urge to slap him. Mr. Fancy Pants thinks he's so big, I snort. Lisa laughs. You like him, don't you? She grins. Don't be stupid, Lisa, I tut. The guy tried to kill me this morning. I really don't think I would want to go out with someone who attempted to murder me in broad daylight. Is there a problem? I hear Mr. Flashy Pants' voice ask from behind me. I mean, I was just trying to apologise to you before about this morning and you just stormed off. I didn't storm, I snap at him. I marched, I correct him in my head. Well, you just left me hanging, he replies. I witness Lisa give Jonathan a wink and a nudge and shoot them some evil eyes. Look, I've got somewhere I need to be. I put my glass down on the table and go over to my desk to collect my things. Where are you going? Lisa asks, coming over as I put my coat on and fish for my keys in my handbag. To the gym and then to get to Sean. I find my keys and place my bag on my shoulder and walk over to Jane. Jane, I say with a big smile, I'm sorry but I've got to go. I've got a few errands I need to run and I have to collect Tashawn from school. I'm so sorry I can't stay longer. Oh, that's not a problem. She gives me a big hug and a kiss on the cheek. If you gotta go, then you gotta go. I'll miss you, but hopefully I'll see you around somewhere. Yeah, I nod. Enjoy your new job. Bye. I wave at everyone and go to leave. See you all Monday. I'll call you later, I tell Lisa as I walk out the room, down the stairs and to the car park to my car. I get in and put my seatbelt on, then let out a huge sigh. Am I being too harsh on the guy? I start to question myself. I mean, he did try to apologise more than once and I just brushed him off both times. And he does seem to be a pretty decent guy. No, the other half of my brain is telling me. Don't fall for his niceness. He's just trying to tap, tap, tap. There's a knock on my window interrupting my Mr. Flashy Pants debate. I jump and turn to my right. It's him waving my glasses at me. I wind down the window a little. You forgot these in your haste to get away from me? He passes them to me. I take them and put them on. Thank you. I turn away and stare ahead. They suit you. He flashes his big smile at me. Thanks, but I gotta go. I nod and wind up the window, start the engine and drive off. Wow, what a jerk, Leah agrees as we run at a medium pace on the treadmill in our local gym. I'm filling her in on the goss with Mr. Flashy Pants whilst getting my weekly workout. I know, I nod, dabbing myself in my towel, but that's not all. I leave her in suspense for a while and then look at her in a large wall-to-wall mirror in front of us. What? She tuts. Hurry up. I get to work and you'll never guess who my new boss is. No, she opens her mouth in shock. Yes, Mr. Flashy Pants himself. I was so annoyed, especially with him trying to be all nice to me. What did he say? I bring her fully up to date and then ask her the same question I asked myself earlier. Do you think I was a bit too harsh on him? A little, she answers, then smiles. I don't know, was he hot? Leah, I laugh. What? She giggles. Was he? A little, I hate to admit it. Well, then you are definitely too harsh on him. Seriously? I ask. Seriously, I think you were a little, she tells me truthfully. But I can see where you were coming from being so angry at him. But then again, he did apologise to you. Twice. I turn off my treadmill and wipe myself down. But he just makes me so vexed in his flashy car and flashy clothes with his, ooh, do you have his number? Leah asks, hopefully turning off her treadmill too. I don't believe her. I'm here all angry and all she can think about is if he's worth dating. No, I don't. And you already have a date for tomorrow night. And most probably every other night next week. I shake my head at her. How do you know the guy that you're going out with tomorrow isn't the one? I doubt he would be, she sighs. You know my luck with guys. But he's very nice though. Very nice. We make our way to the showers and rinse off. I go into my cubicle and change into a pair of jeans and a plain black top. Well, I don't want to talk about Mr. Flash Pants anymore. I emerge from my cubicle and take my bag. What are you doing tomorrow night after your date? I don't know, nothing. Probably going back to my date's house as I usually do because I can't say no. Now, before you get the wrong idea, let me just get this one thing straight. Leah isn't as easy as she sounds. Yes, she might go back to a guy's house after their date, but she doesn't sleep with them. She won't ever sleep with someone she's just been dating for under 4 months. It's her rule and the one thing that she can say no to. I clear my throat purposely as we leave the gym and make our way to my car. What? She looks at me strangely. Excuse you? You better come and do something with me tomorrow night. It's my birthday. She stops and covers her mouth as she gasps loudly. Oh my gosh, Cece, I forgot. How could you forget your best friend from primary school's birthday? I walk on. I've been busy, she catches up. Not with guys, with work. Fair enough, I let her off. She did just come back from Italy a few days ago. Well, Lisa was suggesting that we all go out together, go to a club or something. That's a great idea. I'll cancel my date. No, don't do that, I protest, throwing my gym bag into the backseat of my car. Go on your date and come after or something. Really? She looks at me wide-eyed. Because to tell you the truth, I really want to go on this date. The guy is just so fit. It's fine, I laugh. Cool, so where are you planning on going then? I don't know yet, I tell her starting the engine. Where do you suggest? An hour later, I'm at home with Tashan helping him finish his homework, with Leah at her flat for once, when I remember the article I have to get to Sandra. I take a seat at the computer in the corner of my newly decorated sitting room and switch it on. As I wait for the computer to set up, I admire the work I completed in my sitting room 3 weeks ago. I was feeling like the room needed a change, so I dropped Tashan off at my mum's house and rushed to B&Q for some paint. Back at home, I somehow moved the sofas and got painting what was to be my focus wall a dark grey, and got some golden cream cushions to put on my grey sofas, and kept the other walls an off-white grey colour. I brought a large mirror and placed it over my sofas. As I already had cream and silver furnishing in my room, everything blended in well, and I must admit I was very proud of myself. As I'm thinking I should have chosen interior design and decorating as my university degree instead of business, my mobile phone rings. Hey, I greet Lisa as I bring up my fitness blog on the screen. It's about using yoga to relax yourself and get a toned stomach for any holiday vacations you have coming up. Not that I'm too fussy about my own stomach. I'm a curvy size 10 and I like being that way. I only work out to stay fit, although I don't know why with a 6-year-old football mad son. Thinks he's going to be the next big football star, and he could be with the great skills he's already got. What can I do for you, I asked Lisa, making a few adjustments to my blog. Yeah, that would be cool. I agreed to the night out tomorrow for my birthday. Leah says she'll come after her date, but keeps saying that he's really hot, so I'm really not expecting her to come. But I'll tell her. So you'll come to me for 9? Okay, bye. I put my phone on to charge and then attach my blog into an email and send it to Sandra. I've got to ring my mum for her to look after Tashawn tomorrow night. I glance at the clock on the wall. Come on, girl, wake up. Leah flies onto my bed early in the morning, shaking me. I give a mumble and turn over. Get up, it's after 9, she pushes me. I'm usually a morning person, but today is a Saturday, the weekend and my first day of rest. Even Tashawn knows that. He usually tells me he's awake, then goes to watch the TV in the sitting room. I pull the covers over my head. Shanika, she slaps me. Get up. I sit up and rub my eyes. What? I need to borrow your car today. I need to buy something to wear for my date tonight. I take my headscarf off and take a sip of the water on my bedside table. I don't know why Leah doesn't just buy her own car. She makes enough money for my modelling. She could even buy me another one. And how she can have nothing to wear when she gets clothes for free is beyond me. Where are you going? Westfields. Why do you want to come? I rub my hands over my face and shake my head. No, but I do want something new to wear tonight. We've decided on a bar in the centre of London, playing 80s and 90s old school music. So do you need the car? Leah asks, getting off the bed and checking her reflection in the mirror. Not really, I shrug. I did want to take Tashawn out, but we can just go to the park down the road. Are you sure? She turns around to look at me, already fresh-faced, even though it's early in the morning. Well, for me anyway. I nod and allow Leah to borrow my car on one condition, that she fixes breakfast for Tashawn so that I can have a lie-in. She agrees and I go back to bed, waking up at 10:15 to find Leah and Tashawn watching cartoons in the sitting room. I slump down on the sofa next to Tashawn and give him a cuddle. All right, Ty? I kiss his forehead. He nods his head, engrossed in Lego Marvel. Leah gets up and grabs my keys off the table. I actually need the car for a while, Leah. Just to get some shopping, I tell her. Yeah, you're out of peanut butter. She rubs her stomach and licks her lips with a smile. Stop eating all my food. I throw a cushion at her. She smiles and throws it back. I'll get dressed, go out, and I'll be back in an hour. Watch Ty for me, please. Of course, she sits back down. But be quick, I gotta get ready for my date. It's in over 7 hours, I reply, checking the time. Yeah, but it takes a long time to look extra good. Yeah, and clearly you need the time. I roll my eyes. I mean, I guess not everybody wakes up looking like this. I pout and give her a model pose. Yes, Beyonce, she snaps her fingers. But seriously, I need the time. As I'm making my way back home in my car, my mobile rings. I press answer on my dashboard and hear my mum singing happy birthday loudly into my ear. I actually forgot it was my birthday. Tashawn or Leah didn't say anything. Thanks, Mum, I laugh when she's finished. That was better than last year. Are you getting singing lessons? She kisses her teeth and then asks what I'm doing later. I also forgot about calling her last night to ask if she could look after Tashawn for me. My memory is so bad sometimes. Well, I was planning on going out with Lisa and Leah tonight, but I forgot to call you last night to see if you could have Tashawn for me, I say, hoping she'll offer to have him. She doesn't, but after a little persuasion, she agrees to take him overnight until Sunday so I can get a little break. She called it my birthday present. I called it her being cheeky. As I open the door to my flat, struggling with the shopping, Tashawn comes running down the stairs at me with an envelope. Happy birthday, Mummy, he smiles, giving me a big hug. Oh, thank you, baby. I kiss him, kick the door shut behind me and make my way upstairs. Happy birthday, girl, Leah shouts, making me jump, and then starts singing happy birthday with Tashawn. She retrieves a chocolate cake off the dining table with 28 candles already lit and tells me to make a wish and blow it out. I put the shopping down and make a wish, which I don't usually do, as I haven't done that since I was 12. They never come true anyway. I blow out the candles as Tashawn and Leah cheer. When did you guys plan this? I ask, opening my cards from Tashawn and Leah. I thought you forgot. Even I forgot. Well, when I remembered, Leah begins, placing the cake down. You remembered? I cough. Okay, well, when you reminded me yesterday, I nod at her correction. I thought it would be nice to get you a little cake. So when you went out this morning, me and Tashawn ran to the shops to get you some things. Oh, that's so sweet. I hugged them both, laughing. So what did you wish for? Tashawn asks, trying to cut the cake. Mind your business. I poke his nose and take the knife off him. I cut him a slice. We'll find out sooner or later whether it comes true or not. I hand Leah a slice of cake and cut a slice for myself. I hope it does. Ashley at school told me what he wished for when it was his birthday and he still got it. Tashawn tucks into his cake. Well, I'm still not telling you mine. I tease him and sit down with my cake for breakfast. Oh, he whinges. Did you get more peanut butter? Leah questions, getting up to rummage through my shopping bags, with one hand holding her saucer of cake. Excuse me, if you're going through my shopping bags, it better be because you're going to put the shopping away, I tell her firmly. She stops rummaging and returns to the room. I thought so, lazy. I nudge her as she sits on the arm of my sofa. Can we go to the cinema tonight? Tashawn asks as an advert finishes on the TV for a new Disney Pixar movie. No, sorry, I say. You're going to Nan's tonight. Why am I going to Nana's house? Tashawn's chocolate frosting-covered lips asks me. 'Cause I'm going out tonight with Leah. So you're going to sleep at Nan's until tomorrow night, okay? I watch him shrug and go back to eating his cake. Do you want me to drop him there for you? Leah places her empty saucer on the table and adjusts her jeans. No, it's okay, we can walk. My mum only lives a 10-minute walk away from me in Kilburn, so she's always there when I need her. Well, I better get going then. Leah takes my car keys and gives me a kiss on the cheek. See you later on tonight, she waves. Bye, Tashawn. I hear her run down the stairs and slam my front door, as she always does on her way out. It's practically her trademark. Then the front door slams shut again and she's back in the sitting room with me and Tashawn, with a flustered look on her face. What are you doing? I watch her go over to my front window. There's a van outside. I think someone's moving in next door, she says excitedly. I rush to the window and look out to see a blue van. The next door flat has been empty for 2 months, and both Leah and I have been hoping that a hot guy would move in. I know, I sound so desperate. Let's go downstairs and find out who it is. Leah pulls at my clothes, getting a little overexcited. Why? We can see from up here. I shake her off and fix my black vest. I go back to looking out the window. Well, if it's a guy and he's hot, I'm having him. She pokes her tongue out at me. I wait a second, look at her, and then we both race down the stairs into my car outside. Oh my gosh, I laugh to myself. We are desperate. Outside, there's no one to claim the removal van as theirs, and Leah gets fed up of waiting and speeds off down the road in my car. Sometimes I wonder whether I'll get my car back in one piece. As I turn to go back inside, a red motorbike pulls up in the empty parking space. I want to see who's under the helmet and pick up the post on my welcome mat. As I go through what is most probably all bills, a male voice pulls me out of my concentration. Hey, smiles a mousy blonde-haired man as I turn around. Hi, I smile back. He's a bit of alright, innit? I say to myself. Too bad for you, Miss Cornelia Yvonne. This one is going to be all mine. I glance at my reflection in Leah's downstairs window and frown at the sight of my baggy grey jogging bottoms and black vest I threw on this morning to run out of the house. Oh, nice one, Cece, I tut. He's going to want you now looking like that, isn't he? He walks over with his hand out. I'm Ryan. He looks me over as he shakes my hand. I'm just moving in next door, as you can see. He nods his head in the direction of the two men trying to carry more boxes at one time than they can handle, then tuts, twits. Those fools are my younger brothers, Lee and John. I give a little smile, still unhappy that Ryan's first glimpse of me is in my jogging bottoms, that I only really wear around my house. Why can't he just go inside and come back later when I've had time to throw on something decent? So, what's the neighbours like? He questions after warning his youngest brother to be careful with his things. They're alright, I shrug. Don't really see your neighbours on the right that much, but me and my best friend Cornelia, who lives downstairs from me, are the best neighbours you could ever have. Well, I wouldn't say that was a lie, he grins, making me feel giggly. If she's as good looking as you are, I'm going to love living here. I blush, happy that it doesn't show, so that he can't see me doing it, but I'm sure he knows. Well, my best friend Cornelia is much better looking than me, I inform him, then wonder why I did when I saw him first. I can't imagine that to be true, he replies flirtily. I blush again and decide to leave before my body explodes from all the heat I'm containing. I've got to go now, I tell him, pointing up to my flat. Got to take my son out. Oh, sugar, why did I say that? He won't want me now that he knows I have a son. I roll my eyes. No, actually, it's best I tell him now to see what his reaction is to it, and if it's worth me even thinking of going there. Well, that's if he wants to date me, which I'm sure he does because he said I was hot. Well, implied it. And why am I standing here rambling on to myself? He's going to think there's something wrong with me. Oh wait, his lips are moving. What did he say? Pardon? I say softly. I said, how old is your son? Oh, he's 6. His name is Tashawn. Oh, sweet, he nods. Look, I smash. Both our heads swing swiftly to where the smash sound came from, and I see one of Ryan's brothers standing with his hands in the air with a I didn't do it look on his face. I'm going to kill those idiots, Ryan huffs crossly, beginning to walk off. Those were my plates. I try not to laugh at his 2 brothers who remind me of Paul and Barry Chuckle, but much, much cuter. I'll see you another time then, I shout to Ryan as he picks up the box. Yeah, he smiles, turning around to face me. What will I call you when I see you? Shanika, I nod. Okay, I'll see you around, Shanika. Gotta sort these idiots out. I laugh as I return back into my flat and hear Ryan shouting obscenities at his brothers. Who was that, Mum? Tashawn questions when I return. Our new next-door neighbour. What's his name? Ryan. Ryan who? I don't know. I take the shopping into the kitchen and start putting the shopping away. Was that his bike? Tashawn asks. I think so. He was riding it. It's cool, he replies. Yeah, I guess so. I smile to myself, imagining my arms wrapped firmly around Ryan's waist as we speed off into the night. I'm sure I'm jumping way too far ahead of myself, but who cares? A girl can dream. So did you ask if he was single? Tashawn's brown eyes look up at me. What? I chuckle, nearly choking. He laughs. Did you ask if he was single? No, I didn't, cheeky. And what do you know about asking people if they're single or not? A lot, he smiles smugly. I hear you and Leah talking all the time. What? I gasp and tickle him. Well, you better stop hearing us talk because you're gonna go deaf. Our conversations are not for your ears. He giggles as he tries to squirm away. And I better stop having my girly chats with Leo in front of him. I let him go and finish putting the shopping away, then get ready to take Tashawn to the park. I called his best friend's mum, who lives a couple of streets away from us, to see if her and her son Dylan would like to accompany us and meet them at the ice cream shop in the park. You guys go and play, I tell the boys as me and Anya walk down a path to a bench. I take a lick of my strawberry ice cream as we sit down and look up at the cloudy blue sky. Today isn't that warm at all, but who said ice cream is only allowed to be eaten when it's hot? After spending an hour in the park with the boys, Anya and I decide that it's time to leave. I check my watch as I call the boys over. 2:45 p.m. I better hurry up and get Tashawn home for lunch. As we're making our way out of the park, Anya and I stop to talk. You know, Anya, I begin, checking the boys are okay. They're down the road playing football. I could put an advertisement for your cafe on the site that I write for, if you make one. I'd be happy to write a blog on it for you too. That would be great, she smiles with enthusiasm. I know she and her husband are having trouble with their new cafe. And I could maybe give people a free cup of coffee if they mention your blog or your name or something, she says excitedly, trying to fix her freshly cut hair as the wind picks up. Do you think you'll be able to do that? She asks, hopefully. Should do. I'll talk to the editor for you, I nod. As she's thanking me, I hear an angry male voice shouting in the background. I turn around to see a man pointing at the boys. I storm over to see what's going on and the man kneels down next to his car with a cloth. What's going on? I asked Tashawn, concerned. I accidentally kicked the ball at his car and now he's shouting at us, he says. Well, look what you did, the man in his suit fumes. We didn't do it on purpose, Dylan replies softly. As I turn to look to see if there's any damage done to the car, I recognise the man's voice as somewhat very familiar. It can't be, I say to myself, trying to ignore the fact that it sounds like Tyrone's weird accent, and looks like the car that he tried to kill me in yesterday. It's just a splash of mud, I tut at him, taking the ball off Tashawn. What's the problem? The problem is, there is a park just there for them to play football in. Why are they playing it here by my car? He gets up and throws the cloth into the back seat, still facing his car. Do you even have money if they were to have broken my window? I decide to ignore that question, as I most probably wouldn't. Why can't you just wash it off? I ask, beginning to get angry. Why are you shouting at 2 6-year-olds for accidentally kicking a ball at your car? It's just a car. Yeah, but I have a meeting in 10 minutes that I need to get to, and I don't have time to wash it off. Those little brats shouldn't have been... I beg your pardon? My voice rises. I'm furious now. Who are you calling little brats? Grab his arm and swing him round. It is Tyrone, Mr. Flashy Pants again. He looks at me shocked. I should have known it was you, I snort. Mr. Flashy Pants himself, shouting at 2 young boys for accidentally kicking a football at his precious car. You're lucky they didn't kick it in your face or somewhere else, because I know where I would have kicked it. He stands there in silence. What's going on? Anya comes over looking at everyone. He's just been shouting at our boys for accidentally kicking a ball at his car and getting mud on it. I stare at him crossly. Why does this man get me so angry? But it'll wash off, she points out to him. And you two said sorry, didn't you? She looks at the boys and they nod. Then you really need to calm down, she says firmly to Tyrone. Shouting at 2 6-year-olds over a little bit of mud on a car, it's just ridiculous. That's what I said. He looks at me with the same hurt and apologetic eyes he gave me the last time when he tried to You know what? I really need to get over that day. I'm sorry, you're right, he nods. I do need to calm down. I shouldn't have shouted. It's not like me to be like that. It's just that I don't want to hear your excuses. I cut him off. I thought maybe I got you all wrong and you were a nice guy, but now I've changed my mind. And I don't care if you're my boss at work and you want to sack me. I never let anyone talk to my son like that. I grabbed Tishawn's hand. He's your boss? Anya asks, shocked. Unfortunately, yes. I look him up and down with disgust. I can't stand here any longer with this. I'm going. Tishawn, we're leaving. I kiss my teeth at Tyrone and drag Tishawn off. Idiot, he turns and shouts back at Tyrone. Exactly. I can't believe he would shout at children. Where does he get off doing something like that? As I'm rounding the corner onto my street, Tyrone pulls up in his car and drives alongside us. Walk up, please, I tell Tishawn, hurrying him along. I hope you're not following me, I shout to Tyrone. He pulls up in a space ahead and gets out. I want to apologise, he says, walking backwards in front of us, as Tishawn and I continue to walk and ignore him. I notice Ryan up ahead waving his brothers off and shout hello to him. Hey, he waves, walking over and then stops, realising Tyrone's walking with us. I walk up to my flat and stop. Can you go away, please? I turn and tell Tyrone. I want to apologise, he says, stepping forward. I don't want to hear your apology. I open my front door and let Tishawn in, then walk Tyrone back out onto the road. But you're assuming I'm a bad person because you are? I quip. No, we just keep getting off on the wrong foot. You know, I really don't care. Can you just go away, please? I shoo him with my hand. Why won't you listen to what I've got to say? He retorts. Ryan, I call. He's pretending to check the tyres on his motorbike, but I know he's really listening. Yeah? He gets up and walks over. Is there a problem? No, I'm just trying to talk to Shanika, Tyrone answers. Ryan looks at me questioningly. Can you please make him leave? I tell him. He may want to talk to me, but I do not want to listen. He looks at Tyrone. You heard her. She wants you to leave her alone. All I want to do is apologise about before, Tyrone looks at me. Shouldn't you be apologising to my son? I respond. Well, I would if you would let me, he huffs. I walk off inside and come back with Tishawn. Here he is then. Apologise. He looks at Ryan, then at me. I nod down to Tishawn. He bends down to Tishawn's level. Hi, he clears his throat. I just wanted to apologise to you for before. I shouldn't have shouted at you over something so little, like getting mud on my car. It was only an accident. I didn't do it on purpose, Tishawn tells him. I know, and that's why I'm apologising to you. I'm sorry, he smiles, and I can't help but smile back. Sort yourself out, Shanika, I shout inside and go back to my angry face. Okay, go back inside, Tishawn, I send him off. And you can leave now, please, I tell Tyrone. He stands back up and nods. I'll see you Monday, he says as he walks off to his car. Ryan stands in front of me. You alright? I can't stand him. Your boyfriend? Oh, no, please. I wouldn't spit on him if he was on fire, let alone have him as a boyfriend. Okay, he laughs. So why has he made you so angry then? I watch as Tyrone drives off and then look at Ryan. Good question, I think to myself. Do you want to come in for a drink? I sigh. So I hope you also enjoyed that chapter. Come back next week to find out what happens between Ryan and Shanika, and also what happens with Shanika and Tyrone. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe and turn on your notifications, and I'll see you next week. Bye.